Welcome to the Business Wisdom Podcast, where business strategist Clive Enever shares his inner business wisdom with you. Each episode is packed with his experience to help you grow and develop your own business wisdom. Join Clive as he shares his wisdom with you.
Most people get into business with an idea that they're going to have a big business, whatever big means to each individual. And of course, somewhere along the way, life gets in the way and some of our dreams get lost. So in order to sustain our dreams, the best thing I've found is knowing a little bit about how they operate and what changes them, what gets in the way, and of course, understanding what business is about. We've got over 2 million small businesses in Australia. And according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, 65% of those will fail within the first 3 years. So we're probably doing something not right, or at least we're doing something not as well as we could if we want to maintain businesses at that level. So how are we going to do that? For those of you who know me, know that planning is seriously important in my world. I like to have a plan for everything that's going on in business so that we understand what we want to achieve. We understand how we're going to achieve it. And of course, we have things that we can monitor, because if we can monitor things, we can manage them. Now, according to a study done by the Harvard Business Review some time ago, there are 5 stages of business growth. And notwithstanding that a business might be in this industry or that, or it might be this big or that big, everything breaks down to these 5 stages of business growth in every business. And it starts out with existing. So that probably means that we have a viable income stream rather than failing after exhausting our initial capital. So if we're able to get to that stage of existence, that is, we're still in business after we've run out of our existing initial capital, we've probably done good and we should be patting ourselves on the back. And then we move into the stage that the Harvard Business Review called survival. So essentially what's happened here is you've proved your existence, and now we've got a choice, because we can either stay here, which is break even or just above, or we can generate enough revenue to fund growth and grow into something more viable. Now, if we choose to do that, of course, we move into the stage that Harvard Business Review called success. Now, success, of course, as we know, is very different for each individual. From one person to another, success has a different meaning. So in business, the story goes here that you're enjoying a solid return for your efforts. You're doing better than you were at survival stage, where you were just breaking even. So once again, there's a choice. Do you sit back and enjoy, or do you go for further growth? Now, the thing about further growth is it's always exciting, and it's often where the business owner can choose to step away from working in the business. Now, that, of course, is very appealing to a tremendous number of people, to have a business that operates by itself. And some folks find themselves caught in their business, can't get away. It requires strategic thinking. It requires strategic planning to make sure that your business is capable of doing this, to allow you to step back and you can spend less time in the business and spend more time on the business. You probably heard that phrase a lot. Working on the business instead of in the business. Now, working on the business is critically important, because otherwise your business is probably running you instead of you running your business. So working on the business, seriously important. And if you do choose to go past that stage of success, you move into what the business review called Takeoff. Now, I like to think of what they call Takeoff as sustained growth, and usually sustained rapid growth. And that can be very difficult to manage. And to make sure that you're able to manage it correctly means you have to have a clear path mapped out. That means a plan. So you need key systems, you need procedures, and you need to be watching those all the time to make sure that everything is happening the way that it should be. And this, of course, is where you step away from day-to-day operations. The next stage, the fifth stage, is maturity. You've got a stable, proven and experienced business, and it holds a position of recognition in the market. But of course, it still has challenges. Every business has challenges every day. But this is where you've got to stay focused on staying ahead of the game rather than thinking about what might have happened in the past and how well you've done. You've got to recognize future opportunity and take advantage of those future opportunities. So with all of this at 5 stages, sounds pretty simple. And when you break it down to that level, of course it is. But how do you make it simple in the real world? It's all about planning. Planning is key. And how do you know if you've got the right plan? I like to think of the right plan as being a relevant and workable plan, which identifies and excludes barriers, and most importantly, clearly and simply identifies the key activities which will deliver your desired outcomes. If your plan does that for you, you should be able to excel in your business. But of course, if your plan doesn't do that, you might find yourself confused at various points when certain situations pop up. You might find yourself running backwards instead of forwards. A good plan will allow you to move forwards quickly and easily. And if you don't have a good plan, remember that any plan is better than no plan at all. But no plan not worked is not much help. So let's get planning, get it underway, grow our businesses, and stay ahead of the game.
Thanks for joining Clive. Remember to subscribe for more business wisdom. Want to work with Clive? Book a discovery call with him at enervagroup.com.au.